Organization is used for centrally managing and governing multiple AWS accounts, and control tower is used to set up and govern a secure multi-AWS accounts that provisions the governance and the guardrails for you, rather than you having to go and do it manually each time. Account management. The organizations does centrally manage accounts and groups them into organization units. Control tower is an automated account provisioning where you have the pre-configured environments in place. Policies and governance. The service control policies, they are across accounts for permission control. And while control tower you implement the governance rules which with mandatory and strongly recommended guardrails, that this is what it'll come out of the box. Compliance and security for organizations, you can define and enforce service control policies, security policies, backup policies across all your accounts or across an organization unit. While in control tower, you can set up a landing zone that complies with the best practices, blueprints that many organizations use. For resource sharing, you could share resources in organization like S3 buckets and principals seamlessly across accounts. In control tower, there is limited resource sharing. Right? So wherein we'll have to rely mainly on the organizations for such key resource sharing capabilities. For billing and pricing, AWS organizations, it's a free service. Likewise, control tower also is a free service. We only use the resources that we spend. Visibility and monitoring. In organizations, we are limited to the organizing accounts, and we are limited for the centralized accounts. As long as the child accounts, they're pushing the data to the parent, to the management account, we are able to get the data. Otherwise, it may not be the case. While in control tower, there is a centralized dashboard to visualize the compliance and account monitoring, and this is by default, it is generated. Organizations, as you said, was fairly easy to set up. We create an account, we invite the account, or we could just manually create the account ourselves and make it part of the organization unit. Control tower, also, as you see, it was kind of a 4 or 5 screens, and it's an automated setup for a baseline environment, which is easier and faster for initial setup. Organization, you saw, it was very flexible. Maybe you could provide a customized over account structure and policies. Control tower, it was pre-configured blueprints that provides us the out-of-the-box setup in place. Use cases is very important because not every organization would want to use control tower, and not every organization is good for using organizations, because it can be that it's a small company wherein we don't want to have a separate billing for the customers. You're better off having one account, and as long as you could have the right tagging policy in place and the right setup in place, because a lot of organizations, they don't really charge back to the customer. So if that is not the case, and as long as you can ensure the right security posture for your setup, or you are just starting up for that matter, so you're better off not even having organizations or control tower. Just a simple account setup is good enough. But most organizations will eventually grow, and that is when you start having more customers. It is better to kind of go into organizations or control tower. Now with organizations, for a small organization, you're better off just starting off with organizations and not be overwhelmed by using a control tower, which, in my opinion, is mainly for organizations that are a lot larger, where they have many divisions and subdivisions that in turn are an organization among themselves. So where for those sort of organizations, control tower would be a good fit, while for organizations that are starting small and do not have too many customers, they want to keep it clean, AWS organizations is a better fit. So I hope